Minister of Foreign Affairs and Worship of Costa Rica, Dr. Arnoldo Andre, welcome for this conversation with Qatar's leading newspaper, The Peninsula. Qatar and Costa Rica enjoy strong bilateral ties which have been growing over the years. Both countries offer several opportunities that span across various fields. Your Excellency, what are the most important objectives of your current visit to Qatar?
Thank you so much for having us here, and thank you for the invitation and inviting me to address your very highly appreciated audience. Costa Rica and Qatar indeed have relationships almost 20 years ago officially. And the first Middle East embassy that my country opened is this one, about 13 years ago. Costa Rica is a small country of 5.2 million inhabitants and 51,000 square kilometers, about 5 times the size of Qatar, and is in the middle of the Americas continent, exactly north of Panama and the Panama Canal and south of Nicaragua. We need to enhance our relationships. I had the visit of your Minister of State and Vice Minister in my country, where we reviewed the political situation in our second consultation meeting, and now I'm here to reiterate the invitation of my President to your head of state, the Emir, to visit my country and to place, we will speak later on, our blue agenda, our blue economy ideas that match very much with Qatar's Vision 2030. That's, of course, of much interest for both countries. We are here also to give and to share good practices with Qatar. On the one side, Costa Rica has a high ambition regarding environmental protection and fight against climate change. And on the other side, we are developing good practices in the field of managing in a sustainable way our ocean. Indeed, we will co-host with France the next UN, United Nations Ocean Conference, in the year 2025 in Nice, France. But next year, 2024, in June, 7th and 8th of June, we will host in Costa Rica a high-level event on the ocean called Immersed in Change, where we want states, civil society, scientific groups to share good practices, and we are inviting as well the financial world and the sovereign funds to be present to see in a matchmaking session to see which party want to adopt which good practice and who is willing to finance that. Yes, that's a challenge, but we have been very, very successful attracting foreign direct investment into our country. More than 250 international US and European companies already work in Costa Rica that my country has developed to an optimal standpoint to do business, especially if you are viewing the North American market for your products. Indeed, we just qualified under the new US CHIPS Act to be a country where the semiconductors industry can be established as part of the supply chain for this important component in the new economy. Not only that, all what is medical devices is very strong, electronics is very strong, and our economy is turning into a highly technical manufacturing facilities for products to be placed within the US and Canadian and Mexican markets. Apart from all others, we have free trade agreements with 2/3 of the world's GDP. It's very little. I don't dare to mention it because it's really little. Qatar is importing from ourselves mainly bananas, coffee, and other tropical products, and we are importing from you certain technical and electronic products. And we need both countries, both governments need to work on changing that and enhancing trade, not only trade, commerce, but also investment in both ways. Regarding tourism, indeed, I think we did invent the concept of ecotourism, where when we discovered that tourists not only look for a bed where to stay, but they look for an experience that they will remind forever. And we connected that to nature, and since we are a tropical country with a lot of water and rain, the vegetation is very dense and the animal wildlife is there. And tourists love it, love to come there and have a beach, sun experience, adventure, adrenaline, you name it. Now, we're back on track for pre-COVID, pre-pandemic figures. We are getting about 3 million tourists per year on a population of 5 million, which is a sound number. We want to increase it. All Qataris holding a US, Canadian, or European visa can enter the country without any other requirement. The ones that do not have one have to apply through our consulate here. In a speedy way, they will get a visitor's visa so they can enter the country. We want to continue sharing this experience for your people, and we want also your people to visit our people to visit Qatar. The soccer game, the World Cup helped a lot. We had a lot of Costa Ricans, we qualified at least to be here. Did not do that well, but gave experience to our fans to enjoy the wonderful sides of Qatar and how good you host your guests. We will be working very concentrated in attracting, as said before, investment into our area in all kinds of fields, not only the commercial manufacturing field I mentioned, but also could be larger infrastructure projects and others. And of course, an intense cultural exchange of experience between both countries. We will be working with the diplomatic academies between both countries, and also the scientific innovation fields of the new economies are fields of interest, I feel, for both countries. You are appointing a new ambassador to Costa Rica because the previous ambassador finalized his term, and we are also from Costa Rica appointing a new person to represent us here. So with the appointment of both new ambassadors, I hope that we will be able to boost strongly in a robust way our relationships.
Dr. Arnoldo Andre, thank you for your precious time.
Thank you for your time, and be always invited to visit us.